Hi, Mark. So you've got the we were doing the those three different arpeggio shapes for well, three for major, three for minor. So we'll just have a quick look at that, and then we'll get into what I wanted to talk about in this video, right? So you've got the tabs for these anyway, right? So we'll do these in D minor, and then D major, okay? So first off, you have the A minor shape. So there's A minor. Bring it up 5 frets for D minor. And so the shape goes like this. Now, there's nothing to say when you're actually using these arpeggios that you have to use all the notes in them, right? You could just, as you know already, the major and minor chords are made up of the first, third, and fifth. So this on its own, or all of those are D minor arpeggios because all of them are combinations of the notes D, F, and A, right? But of course, you can take them over multiple octaves, so that's what we'll do here. And we'll just use these kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because that way you can cycle it. Just break the 12 down into 4 sets of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So there's the first shape. Now with these two middle strings with your third finger, make sure you're rolling. We don't want overlapping notes like that, okay? So and then when you're coming back, you got to get this on top of the 2 strings straight away, but have the pressure here on the G string first. And then as soon as there's not enough pressure on the G string to get a note, when it dies like that, then there should be enough pressure on the D string to get a note. So we don't want any overlap, but we don't want a gap between them either, right? So it's a different. So you really kind of have to watch that and kind of carefully distribute the pressure on that finger, okay? Okay, so moving up. So that one starts on the first. There's the third going up to the fifth, okay? So this is your E minor shape. Okay, so we're coming up. We've got a roll here, then a triple roll here, there's the E minor one, and then finally D minor shape. Now you've got the fifth going up to the eighth. We'll call the eighth the first, okay? But that's an interval of a fourth, so that's always going to be a big gap, okay? So little finger. Then for the majors, all you got to do is raise the third. And you should know which is a third, which is a first, and all that. That's very important, so you can modify them, get sevenths, sixths, flat fifths, so all of that kind of stuff. All the ways you might want to change them. You have to know what's actually in the chord first. So we're going first, third, major third. There's a third, major third, fifth, eighth, or first. So we're going major third there, 4 frets, triple roll here, avoid them overlapping notes, and you got to slow it down just to make sure you're not getting that overlap and kind of get used to kind of rolling your finger over it exactly the right way. Okay, so moving up, E major shape, so that's E major, up 10 frets to get a D, so we're starting on the major third, so we're starting 1 fret up. Same roll here. Now we've got, that was a third, that's gone up now. This was also a third, up. Whoops. Then we've got the actual D major shape. And then you've got the whole fretboard covered then. For, like for example, you've got this A major shape one up here. But right underneath that, you've got the D major shape. we did up an octave here. Okay, so pentatonic then. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Just gonna give it a quick tune up here. So you've got the first position pentatonic already, right? So that's where you start on the 6th string on the. So we're gonna do this in 2 note per strings, right? 2 note per string. So the one we've got so far is what I call the first position pentatonic, which just means that you're starting the pentatonic on the 1st. So if it's the A minor pentatonic, you're starting on the 6th string on an A note. So what I want to do is kind of expand that out to get the position above that and below that, so you have a much bigger range of motion, regardless of what key you're in. So of course this can be done on any key, but we'll do A minor for now. Okay, so we have this one. So we know about that one. Now, so for that we'll go up. Now there is no second position because there is no second note in the in the minor pentatonic scale. That is in the key of A minor, but we're skipping that for the A minor pentatonic. We're just going straight from the 1st to the 3rd. So you can see that you've got a straight line across the bottom of this scale on the 5th fret, and then you've got this line here. So those are going to be your bottom notes now for this shape, right? So we're going to go from here. So the top note on the 6th string that would have been in the 1st position is now the bottom note, okay? So we're going from there, we're going up by 2. Down a fret on the next string, up by 3. Same here. Up by 2 this time. Back up a fret, just like we go up 3 frets from the bottom on the 1st position. Now we're back up a fret here on the bottom note. So let's do it again. Okay, so this little portion here, by the way, on the first 3 strings is often referred to as the blues box. Just a very playable little spot on the fretboard. Okay, so all I really want you to do for now is just play them. Just play them up and down. Get used to these positions. Now, the 7th position is this. So we're going below our 1st position here, so that means that straight line we have across the bottom of the 1st position is now at the top of the 7th position, right? So we're starting. There's the 7th, the G note in the key of A minor, 7th. Okay, so we're going. So we have this straight line across the top, and just basically we're just going down 2 from that, down 2, down 3, down 3, 2, and 2. This one's nice and easy to remember because it's symmetrical, right? So what's the shape again? So that's 3 5 3 5 2 5 2 5 3 5 3 5. Okay, so once you've got, so quick one from bottom to top here, we got 7 position, 1st position, the familiar one, and then 3rd position. So now all of a sudden you've got this entire range of motion from 2nd fret all the way up here to play around with. Now, the reason it's a good idea to learn the same thing 5 different ways is because of the way you can string them together, right? So you can do them individually first, that's perfectly fine. But after a little while, let's say we start off here. So we've got this little bit here in the 7th position. Ooh. There's the 1st position. And then we're up here in the 3rd position. Okay, so something like. So let's try that little lick first of all, right? So we're hammering on 7th position on the B string. Sliding up by another 3, so now we're sliding up into that 1st position. The 5th fret on the 1st string. my point, right? We're sliding from one position to the next. One more, we'll go, let's come back down this time. Okay, so going down a little bit beyond it here, but we're coming down from the blues box B string. But just to keep it in that position, we'll end on the 5th fret of the 6th string. So one more on that one. Here we go. So just down in step, 2 steps down, well, 2 steps down, 1 step back up through those different positions, okay? So, but the main thing, we'll get into the phrasing later on. The main thing I want you to do now is just play the shite out of it. All over the place today. Then, of course, in D minor, let's say, well, let's go E minor, okay? So there's your E note in the key of E, that's first position. Come back from it, back down by 2 for the 7th position. This is 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. There's the first. And then the 4th or 3rd position. And there we are. Okay, so that's a pretty big extension of the pentatonic. So well worth getting under your fingers. So have a good going over those. Try to be as familiar as possible with those 2 positions. And I recommend as well, if you're in the habit of kind of defaulting to that, let's say you're in A minor and you're A minor. You know, you just kind of do a bit of noodling like that. Try to impose a ban on yourself for that first position. Only use the 7th and the 3rd for now, just to make speed up the process, getting a bit more familiar. You want to be as fluid with those positions as you are with the first one. All right, I'll see you then. Let me know if you have any questions.